Freedom, frankly, is too often taken for granted in this country. Most won't know what they had till it's gone. Our freedom has been ensured by those prepared to defend it. For thousands of years, free societies have operated on this premise. Countries, societies like ours have invested effort to defend freedom from external threats. However, we've lost focus on the internal threats to our freedom. Our freedom is under threat from encroachment of governments on every aspect of our lives. An encroachment exemplified by the taxes, the forms, the fees, the processes, the regulations. It's all there in the face of this onslaught of overt and covert control of our lives. Progress is stalled. Our personal and national well-being, well, it's almost a smoking ruin of what we could be. Some try to push on regardless. Some succeed, while others, well, they fail or just give up trying. And if you think this is just hyperbole, consider a few issues before us. Youth crime, well, it's rampant, but it's society's fault. Too many offenders will never face the penalties they probably deserve. Our health system, it's fractured, it's fragile, with battalions of bureaucrats employed hoovering up the hundreds of billions of dollars in health, while patients wait and wait and wait. Nation-building infrastructure lags timely preventative delivery. It's missing as bureaucrats just want to triage infrastructure crises, leaving us stuck in traffic. The generation of cheap, reliable electricity, the storage of water, they're all major political fails. The disclosure this week of delay for defence projects totalling 97 years of delays, enough to keep defence bureaucrats in rainbow cakes and coffee for generations, well, it's a national disgrace. And each of these are also a breach of faith for taxpayers, for all citizens in our country. Our freedoms are at risk, waiting for the crumbs to fall from the taxpayer-fed tables of the government and the elites. They enjoy everything they want, while we wait for everything we need. Personal responsibility is also a key component of freedom too. And in this era of great selfishness, government control over us also perverts the companion piece of personal rights. That's personal responsibilities. Governments should get out of our lives, but they don't trust us. Governments consider most people can do the wrong thing, so all of us should be restricted just in case. Let me put it another way. A truly free society is one where governments punish only the lawbreakers, not the law-abiding. In a free society, most people can be relied upon to recognise their individual responsibility, not just demand rights. Sadly, it doesn't seem to always work this way anymore. More and more people, well, they're just subcontracting their responsibilities out to others, looking for someone to blame. We're seeing it in our political leaders. Frankly, unless you're prepared to take personal responsibility and be accountable for your actions, governments will take over even more control of your life. And this is a real and present danger to our freedoms. Now, there's plenty of philosophical quotes about freedom, individual liberty, and the balance of rights and responsibilities. But one of the best is from Ronald Reagan, a one-time union official, but the best president of the United States in my lifetime so far. He said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was like to once live in the United States where men were free." Now, he said this over 60 years ago, 1961. The threat, well, it's real, again, right now. The internal threats to our freedom are real. And if politicians are the front line in the contest of ideas, we're in real trouble. Too few elected officials, our MPs, ever legislate as if they truly trust us, the people. Too many politicians fail to argue for personal freedom. As governments manage our decline, we're close to having a one-party state because it's convenient to be in furious agreement. So it's really up to each and every one of us to warn our children.